Hello, my name is Michael Taylor, and my life has been centered around art, glass, and higher education for over 50 years. I've worked in a number of directions and mediums. Here's an example of what I'm currently doing and a small part of what I've done. I no longer blow glass, but for almost 20 years, I had a hot studio. While blowing glass, I developed sculptural directions. In the beginning, blowing paid for the sculptural work. I ended up spending more time with sculpture and less time in the hot shop. In the Czech Republic, I'm known as a cutter. I found cutting, grinding, and assemblage additive sculpture to be much more challenging and responsive than the pipe. Cutting allows me more time to contemplate form, color, and ideas. The pipe, for me, was limiting and repetitive. Cutting allowed for much more visual vocabulary, essentially going out of decorative arts and challenging much broader social and cultural topics. It opened the door for a vast world of personal experiences. In brief, my work is about the beauty of scientific diversity and is about the complexity of the human condition. It's about the science of today and the future. I'm fascinated by artificial intelligence and when computers will take on human consciousness. Another separate direction of my work is being developed in the realm of narrative and conceptual. It uses glass and limitless number of other materials. I'm working in a number of directions at the same time, which means having projects partially finished throughout the studio. As always, as soon as I get a larger space, I seem to need more space. Working with any art starts with an idea and then goes into process. It continues to change and develop many times until completion. It is exciting and challenging at the same time, including sleepless nights, lots of illegible notes at the bedside table and everywhere else. So from chaos of drawing come wooden models, three-dimensional renderings in basswood, then full-scale models out of cardboard. Questions continue. What part goes where for the most impact, balance of color, form, transparency, and refraction? Each finished piece is different, not part of a series, but different forms. The placement is innate and intuitive. Sometimes it literally takes weeks for me to get new results, and longer, of course, for the finished work. The ideas are worked out through models, drawings, and revisiting the original concept. Does the visual problem follow the idea? It's a matter of problem solving, technically, to get the work to the final solution. Each piece is a prototype. Each piece is like developing a new series, of course informed by the last. But once completed sculpture is different than the last. Each piece is speaking to a concept of scientific mechanism. I see some of the actual parts to go to an enormous machine like the Hadron Particle Collider at CERN in Switzerland. Titles come from different technologies or whatever I'm currently reading, be it poetry, philosophy, fringe science. Science and the New Yorker are major sources of facts and entertainment. Everything around me informs my work. From here, the glass is cut and polished or is already made. They are chemically fused with an epoxy that connects the molecular structure of free-floating ions of glass with those of epoxy. It becomes synergetic. The bond, like glass, is very highly viscous material. It results in a fusion of two polymer liquids, free-floating particles with an index of refraction as high as the glass. My career has been immensely rewarding, and it will continue to escalate through my students. I'm fortunate to have had very bright, ambitious students from all over the world. Many have picked up the torch and are leaders in the field. If I can make a difference in one person's life by enriching or challenging them, I will have already succeeded.